besides, again, continuing that interest in students and all the training you've done, how have you balanced your personal life?
I think very early on, I allowed myself to be mentored. I found ladies in my circumstance working. I can point to many mentors, one of whom is a retired teacher. I was very close to her as a young married woman, and times when I didn't quite know what to do, I'd go to her. Then, of course, there's my mom. And from these mentors and from generally watching how life is supposed to be structured, I appreciated I needed time to rest, time to get my shopping down, and then I also learned about help. Get help, as much help as you can. So I don't do what somebody can do for me. Years and years ago, I gently nudged my husband and said, you know something, let's get somebody to help with the cooking. So we have a caterer who helps us with the cooking. And then sometimes there's certain things you want to cook yourself. So then I'll wake up in the middle of the night and cook up a storm. For certain meals, I like the way I grew up eating it, and I'll do it that way. But generally, I've always engaged help in cleaning the home, finding trustworthy people who would help me with cleaning the home, gardening, and anything that somebody can help me with, I'm willing to let them help me with. I find help. I pay for it, or we pay for it as a family. And so I think having help is very important. But there's certain things you can't do, you can't let others do for you, like spending time with your children. So I would drive them to school myself so I could spend time with them. Even if we had a driver to help us, I would drive them to school. And then after school, the driver would bring them to me in my office. And if somebody had to go for an extra class or piano lessons or swimming lessons, I would structure it so I can do those things. And now they're big women, and so they don't need me. I mean, my first one has 3 children, and so it's a different kind of need. You know, you go in there as a grandma. She's had a baby. And yeah, so that's it's worked well. It's worked well.
I entered that land of being a grandmother 3 years ago when our grandson was born, and then our granddaughter is now 15 months old, and there really is nothing like it. It is just amazing. I noticed one of the things that you've also been involved in, you've been active in the church, and there's, I think, a glow.
Yeah.
And that translating the Bible into different languages, how did you get involved in that, and why is that so important to you?
My dad was a man of faith. My grandma was a woman of faith. I grew up in a Methodist home. The girls' school I went to was a Methodist church. It was owned by the Methodist church, and Wesley Girls High School. And so I grew up in an environment of faith. But then I came to accept faith independently in my journey. And for me, it's been one of my biggest anchors. I've loved being in church, reading my Bible. I believe I obtain wisdom from reading the Bible and then being a Bible teacher in church. IAWL is a community of women who believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. So it was a community fellowship in my neighborhood. So it was a good way to spend Tuesday evenings with like-minded women on the same journey of faith. And so I joined it, and it's been more than 25 years. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Now, Theovision is the ministry that translates the Bible into African languages. And I met the gentleman who started it all in the building that I used to work in. He had an office there. So I got curious. I'd go into that office and ask, what are you doing here? And he said, he'll tell me, I'm translating the Bible into African languages. So then he asked me to serve on their board. And now I've been on the board for more than 30 years and seeing that work grow from one language to 400 languages.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Your life is so rich. You don't just restrict yourself to being a judge and deciding cases. Why is it important for judges to stand up and be engaged in the community? Of course, within the ethical bounds, but why is that so important for judges to get involved in the way that you have been involved?
First, judges are humans. And as a human being, you will need an anchor. You know, being a judge may give you influence, may give you position, may give you a job to do, a career, but ultimately, you need a personal anchor. And that personal anchor for me comes from the communities I've been involved in, whether it's FIDA, whether it's AGLO, whether it's Theovision. Being in those communities gives me grounding, gives me opportunity to give back, gives me opportunity to come to terms with my own fragility and the fragility of others, you know. And I think that anyone, whether you're a professor or you are a judge or you are a teacher, if you have access to other human beings, it will help you understand the need to serve them as they are.
What will your legacy be? How do you want to be remembered, or what do you want to be known for?
I think I would want to be remembered for my service to Ghana, for my service to the judicial service of Ghana. You know, being chair of e-justice, getting involved, getting things done, getting my hands dirty with building something, being with law students. That's what I would want to be. Of course, I want to be remembered for my judgments. And I think that I feel happy when I look at the data on my own judgments. I mean, from the trial court through the appellate courts, I think my judgments are hardly ever reversed. And that's because I give it my all when I do that as well, and ask myself what is right and refuse. One of the things that yesterday I said to the Association of Women Judges when I had to speak with them, I said, be fiercely independent, because sometimes you discover that it's your dissenting opinion that tells everybody this is the way to go. So once I am convinced that this is the way to go, I will defend my thoughts. So I think I want to be remembered for independence of mind, for contribution, and for making the place a better place.
And I noticed, because I was with some of your colleagues, an African Judicial Network is being formed by Sealy in partnership with many African judiciaries, which is a wonderful thing. And I noticed that you are wearing your judiciary dress. And I so admired that. Would you? I think I don't have a dress, didn't have a dress when I was on the Court of Appeal. It said Court of Appeal. So how did that happen?
This is a Ghanaian thing. You know, one of the big industries of Ghana is a cotton fabric. And so we wear these fabrics, bright fabrics, on a national scale. The kente is one of our national icons. But along the line, the judiciary decided that it's high time we had our cloth. So I was not part of it. This was developed and we love it. Today, we are having the conference of Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana, and everybody is wearing it. The ladies are in skirt and top, the men are in the shirts, and it's a nice time to be away from a black jacket and suit.
Right. Yeah. No, I love it too. I've been to Ghana probably 5 or 6 times. I had kente jackets made.
Okay.
So it is so vibrant, and it's such a part of it. I didn't want our conversation to end without me commenting on that, because I think it's so special, and it creates a unity with everyone, and a pride is you can feel it. So the last day of our conference, everyone from Ghana had on their judicial cloths. Are there any sort of final words or tips that you would want to share that we haven't covered? I mean, you've talked about being fiercely independent, finding joy, giving back, striving for excellence, being involved in the community, not forgetting those who are the least among us who need the most help, and how critical education is. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about how you've lived what you have preached, such an extraordinary life?
I think that eventually the legacy of the law in the community is a consistent right application of law. Law is a stability of the community. And so when you have the privilege of working with the law, it's important for you to strive to be a teacher, to strive to be one who correctly discerns the law, determines the law, applies the law. And so if you ask me for last words to the legal community, this is what I would say, that whatever it is you do, and it's important not to get distracted from your work as an excellent lawyer or an excellent judge. On womanhood, I would say that be assured in your own identity, and you are unique. There's nobody like you. So there is no apology for being you. You know, that's what scientists will tell us. That's what theology will tell us. There's only one of everybody. No matter how many millions of human beings have been made before or are coming after us, there's only one you. So you don't need to be like everybody. That's why I'd feel comfortable to write my poetry. And I would feel comfortable to enjoy walking through the market, talking to women. There's only going to be one of me. And keeping that one me locked away somewhere is a waste.
And this is something that has really shown through for me about you: humility. You have not let the black robe and the wig get in the way of your humanity.
Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, no, because that is, we do have sometimes judges who feel they have been anointed, not appointed, who forget that it is the people that they need to serve. And you have that front and center in your life, and this ability to explain things so people understand in everyday language. Of course, that comes from your being a teacher as well. So to those who have an opportunity to listen to this brilliant, humane jurist who gets joy out of life, you can see why I said at the beginning how excited and honored I was to have her with us. And so thank you so much, Justice. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your candor.
I'm very grateful, and I am honored as well. And thank you for your kind words. Thank you very much.